Hello. Ah, it's very unfair. Right. Right, good day. Good day, good people. Okay. My name is Namlan Mwelo. We meet here at Lusatec today. We would like to talk about tools that we use when we are managing health and safety. You know very well that here at Lusatec we specialize with training various courses that are in occupational health and safety. For instance, we do have Track, which is safety management course, open to everyone. We also have your construction management safety. So this is also a safety course that is designed specifically for people who are in the construction sector, right? So without further ado, people, we are going to dwell deep into the aspects or tools that we are going to be using when we are running health and safety in our workplaces. So if you are involved in occupational health and safety, irrespective whether you are a safety officer, you are a sheriff, you are a manager, you are a risk officer, or whatever title they've given you, as long as you are working in health and safety, you have got quite a number of tools, ideas, or activities, whichever way we want to call them, that actually we can use in terms of making sure that managing health and safety becomes easier and flawless, right? Let's look into these items. Number one, you would want to actually have a culture of safety at your workplace. Safety culture. What is safety culture? What is safety culture? What is safety culture? So, at any given workplace, it is the responsibility of you as a safety officer. It is the responsibility of you as part of management. It is the responsibility of the entire management to make sure that you create a safety culture. What is a safety culture? It's a safety culture is whereby there are many activities that are done at workplace that actually forces people to talk about safety, practice safety, safety of themselves and the safety of others, because that's exactly what Section 9 in the Occupational Health and Safety tells us. That is exactly Section 18 that says we have got duty to inform. That is Section 14. What are our duties as employees? So at the end of the day, each one of us need to have the idea of how best does he or she fit in an organization's safety culture. This can be improved by having frequent meetings. This can be improved by people meeting to do peer-to-peer evaluation, right? Where somebody sit down with the next person, discusses things about safety and so on. This can be done by improving training, which means that you are going to be having training and development at your workplace. These are items that can actually force for you to have a safety culture. Over and above safety culture, you also need to practice frequent risk assessments. There are various risk assessment tools that you can use. You have got your hazards checklists, you have got your risk assessment forms, you have got your baseline risk assessment, you have got your issue-based risk assessment, you have got continuous risk assessment. All these assessments, or all these tools, if you combine them, we can just classify them as HIRA, hazards identification and risk assessment. So if you practice frequent HIRA, which means you are practicing frequent risk assessment activities at your workplace, that can actually be one of the tools that can bring in an effort as a safety manager. So you are managing the safety, and it becomes easier because you are putting your effort in risk assessment. Like we already said, training and development is another tool. So we are on 3, right? So number 1, we said encourage safety culture at your workplace. Number 2, we are saying risk assessment need to be improved, or you need to be put in place, and they have to be frequent and regular. Number 3, we are saying that training and development, you can never go wrong with training and development. Why are we saying that? If you go to the Act keeps on saying competent person, competent person, competent person. Every time they want to refer to something or to a person, they say a competent person. What is a competent person? A person can only be competent if the person is trained. So you get up there as a safety officer, make sure that people are trained. Because when people are trained, they become competent. And when people are competent, it means that they know what they are doing. Right? Everybody becomes better when you are trained. There is a place where people are trained. They've got a motto which says, knowledge conquers fear. Knowledge conquers fear. Because when you have knowledge, then you can't have fear. When you have knowledge, you can't be somebody who is fearing something. You can be able to climb on top of a house and fix it. You can be able to work in a butcher and still be okay. You can be able to work at any factory and still be okay. The reason being that you are trained. So it is a very good example of a tool that any safety officer should use, training and development. All right, let's move on. The other tool that you can actually use that is very, very important are the safety meetings, which we're talking about as well. Right? Safety meetings are important because in some sections of the Act, you are supposed to establish a safety committee. Right? Now, a safety committee is not just going to be in existence for fun. A safety committee will be in existence because you are going to be conducting meetings. Right? Therefore, these meetings, that's the meetings we're talking about. Also, part and parcel of the meetings, there are also small morning briefing meetings that we should conduct most of the times. What do you call them? Toolbox talks, or just morning briefing, depending at your workplace. During the morning briefings, right? If you are in a school, they are performed in a staff room and stuff also. Those morning briefings, whether they are being performed in front of the workshop, they are being performed in the staff canteen, they are being performed in a staff room, they are being performed in the open space or wherever they are being performed, but they should be frequent, they should be every day. Toolbox talks. They form part and parcel of meetings that we are saying here. Right? Alright, another tool again that is very important is documentation. Documentation. You would want to document everything. And trust me, you can't go wrong if you are somebody who is documenting everything at work, right? This would mean that you are going to have quite a number of documents that you would want to have. At the end of the day, you will find people who are working in construction sites, who are working in factories, people who are working in mines. The safety officers are then obliged to create what is called a safety file. Because a safety file becomes a file where you are going to be putting all your documents there, Therefore, it forms part and parcel of tools that you are using in terms of managing safety. Right? I don't know, whenever you are out there, do you have more examples of tools that you can be able to use? Because there are many, you cannot complete them. As I am talking to you right now, I'm thinking of other tools that you can actually use. For example, if you are going to be performing emergency drills, right? You can perform mock drills, right? These are emergency drills where people are supposed to perform the same way they would perform if there is fire at your workplace, right? Say there is fire at your workplace, what are you gonna do? Say there is fire here at Lusatec, what are we gonna do? So you would want members of staff here to actually run around and then end up being stationed at the assembly point, at the designated assembly point. So that's mock drills. So you would want to do those drills in a way to put yourself at ease, to say that these people, it means they know what they are doing in terms of what? In terms of safety, right? So there are many items or people you can use. Incident investigation, or sometimes we call it root cause analysis. It's also a tool that you can use when you are managing safety, because you would make sure that you create a culture where everyone reports incidences. People report what they call near misses, right? If something was about to happen, if an accident was about to happen, it means you have missed it by an inch, missed it by whatsoever. Make sure that it's reported and properly reported. After it has been reported, investigated and properly investigated. From this investigation, we are able to gather information, we are able to gather reports that can actually point us to the right direction when we are managing safety. Ladies and gentlemen, my clips end here, and I will summarize and say, as a safety officer, you have got many tools that you can use, and the list is endless. But from me today, I just brought few of them where we tried to say, let's do mock drills, let's do incident investigation, let's do training, let's do regular meetings, let's promote safety culture, let's do risk assessment, amongst other examples of items or tools you can use in managing safety, but not forgetting documentation, because in everything that you do, you need to make sure that you put that in a document. They say if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in black and white. No, it's no longer like that. We are all going there and read. Therefore, we need to have these files as safety officers so that we can document everything. And then when inspectors arrive, when a client arrives, or when employees arrive, you are able to produce a document and say, guys, here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Lamlan Moyo, coming live from Lusatec. Thank you.